Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it. We all have our temptations, some worse than others. Addictions aren't only limited to drugs, narcotics, or alcohol. Any overindulgence in the substance that brings with it negative impacts to our physical and or mental health is an addiction. The bad feeling we get after giving in to these urges, feeding these addictions, is the indicator that God doesn't want us on this path. But no matter how great the urge, how terrible the addiction, God has already given you all the tools to overcome it. It's up to us to be vulnerable, giving ourselves up to God and allowing him to heal us through his power. Jesus was tempted by the devil on multiple occasions when he fasted for 40 days and nights in the Judean desert. We are called to be Christ-like in our lives. Let us take inspiration from Jesus' ability to rebuke Satan again and again, and in being like Christ, reject the urges that lead us to addiction. Know that these feelings are given to us by Satan, and that God has already given us the strength to ignore the devil's attempts in leading us to sin. Moreover, Stoic philosophy also offers us advice when dealing with our temptations. Epictetus, a Greek philosopher living during the early years of the Roman Empire, writes in his book, the Enchiridion, "If you are struck by the appearance of any promised pleasure, guard yourself against being hurried away by it. But let the affair wait your leisure, and procure yourself some delay. Then bring to mind both points of time, that in which you will enjoy the pleasure, and that in which you will repent and reproach yourself after you have enjoyed it, and set before you, in opposition to these, how you will be glad and applaud yourself if you abstain. And even though it should appear to you a seasonable gratification, take heed that its enticing and agreeable and attractive force may not subdue you, but set in opposition to this how much better it is to be conscious of having gained so great a victory." When faced with temptation, think about both outcomes that will arise from your choice. Feeding your urges, like Epictetus says, will simply lead to regret after the brief period of enjoyment. The high only lasts so long, making the come down infinitely worse afterwards. The second choice, practicing restraint, which may be incredibly painful and bring discomfort in the short term, as we all know, will ultimately be a great victory that only shows you how powerful you really are. Within you is the strength to stand up to any temptation, any vice, any evil. We all fail sometimes. We all will come short. Failure is not defeat, and moments of weakness are not a reflection of our overall character. What matters is that you get back up after falling down, that you direct yourself back on the path to fulfillment. You may have temporarily turned away from your best self and from God, but you will appropriately respond to these setbacks and be back on your way to becoming the best version of yourself you can be. So next time you experience the urge to break your sobriety or order an extra side of fries, practice restraint and fight the discomfort today for the rewards of tomorrow. If you practice the way of the Warrior Philosopher, you will find yourself able to conquer anything in your path. Conquer fear, and you will conquer the world. Thank you, and never stray from the way. This is the Warrior Philosopher, building the foundations of the warrior philosophy.